Hello everybody, this is Lambro with yet another map walkthrough video. Showing you some flanking locations, some sniping locations, more importantly, health pack locations that would give you the edge if you guys want to ultimately win on these maps. Never noticed that posted there before, but that was kind of cool. I believe that's Lucio. Anyways, so today we're going to talk Hollywood and how to properly attack this map and get the most bang for your buck. Hollywood is one of those capture the point that transitions into a payload map, and unfortunately, like my last two videos, it is a very strong sniper slash widow slash Genji map. So let's begin. From an attacker, you have three exit locations from the spawn point, the Chinese theater thing over here. You have the left option, the middle option, and the right option. Generally, the middle option is the worst option because you'll get blasted from any defenders that want to be cheeky and just poke at you from over here. So I really can't recommend taking the middle exit. So what are your alternative options? Alternative options is the left alleyway over here, which lets you go straight to this house. From this house, there is a, I believe, large health pack up there, and not much back here besides some Easter eggs. So one of the first places that you should take control of is up here in this house. There's probably a Roadhog, McCree, and maybe some Metro turrets up here. But one of your first order of business as an attacker is to take control of this house. Make sure no defenders can sneak behind your team. If they can sneak behind your team from here, you're not going to have a very good time. So first order of business, if you're taking a flanking route, take control of this house on the left by getting rid of any defenders here. Once you take control of this house, you should have a direct path to the back section of the point. Just out. And that will let you clear up any potential obstacles that is guarding your team from the first choke point over here. This is the first real choke point, so something to keep in mind. Let's go over our next option from exiting the main theater area. Your second best option, outside of that one, is to take the right exit. The right exit, normally there's not anyone in here, but I'm open to being surprised. This is a excellent sniper location because you could take out any turrets slash snipers on top of that and really open the way for your team. So that's your first order of business as a sniper, is first make sure this section is cleared. Next, make sure there's no sniper up here picking on your team. You can have pretty good coverage of that popular sniping platform up there. Now if there's no good snipers, obviously Pharaoh's a good decision. So naturally, Genji counters Widow, Widow counters Pharah. Pharah is going to give Genji a pretty hard time because it's hard to shoot Shoryukens at a flying object. So something to keep in mind, something I didn't really mention before, but definitely worth noting. The other sniping location is up here, and you can start taking advantage of anyone that's perched up here, which is a decently popular sniper locations, but I really can't recommend it too much because you can see it from all the way back here and you spawn over here. So it's not worth it for the defender to die to you. Alright, so health pack locations. There was a large one over there. There was another health pack in here. It's a small one. And if you're a walking type, this is how you get to the higher elevation if you did not take these stairs back here. So you could go for this higher elevation. Hanzo and Widow, which frequent this top area, don't really need it, but the option of walking is there. So yeah, once again, this is a excellent sniper attack location that you want to take advantage of. And if there is nothing up there, you can start clearing this corner for your team, as well as taking anyone unfortunate enough to be on your crosshairs over there. Alright, so sniper, this is where you want to hang out. Flankers, you want to hang out in that left building and clear it out, especially if you have a McCree. Reinhardt, walk up the center right here. Everybody knows about this giant health pack over here. Back in the day, I would like to put some Metro turrets here just to fuck with the attacking team if I'm a defender. But I've been doing that less these days because, you know, turrets are valuable, man. And they might not necessarily go in there for the health pack, but you'd be surprised how many people you can tag for kills, especially when they go low and go in this building. Also, if you're a defender, you want to get some early charging your Torbjorn turrets, put a Torbjorn turret over here, and it would guarantee to get at least 24% if they don't see it immediately and destroy it. So I had gone up to 40% with my turret here at a kill. it's definitely a good starting location for your turret, just to build up some meter. Alright? More about defending here. So let's set up the situation for the defenders here. Bastion location in here, slash Torbjorn turret here. After your first Torbjorn turret is taken out, you want to set up in here because A, you can't snipe this. That scared the shit out of me. A, you can't snipe this, and B, it takes considerable effort for anyone to get to this room to take out your turret, because hopefully your entire team is here guarding the point with you. So this is a excellent Torbjorn location. There is a third excellent Torbjorn location, so you might want to, like, you know, consider double Torbjorn, and it's up here. Widows also can perch up here, but watch out for that corner over there where opposing Widows could take you out. It's a pretty good coverage of this entrance area, and it lets you cover both entrances, except that back right corner, but you should be able to get a shot at that point. So another possible Torbjorn / Bastion location is on this moving platform over here. That way Torbjorn and Bastion is now in motion and not in one place. So this is pretty dirty too. So these are some possible defender locations that you should keep in mind. You also want to take into consideration you can snipe up here too, and you get some decent coverage. You want to clear out these rails just in case it makes you shot. But clearing out rails is something I've been, you know, doing unconsciously for a while now. So this is another decent sniping location due to some of the coverage that you might be getting. Alright, and the more dangerous one that I mentioned earlier is you can snipe from up here. It obviously lets you see further down. It's obviously better earlier on, and if they haven't moved up to this section yet, you should get a few early kills. Alright, so that about covers it from the defender's perspective. There's a back alleyway here too that you want to keep an eye on, but a Torbjorn / Bastion here should be able to cover this section as well. Generally, you would just want to fight on the point if they get past the initial choke point. And your Torb turret here will do a lot to discourage them from just randomly trying to jump on the point by themselves. Your team would generally want to stand over here. Reinhardt stands here with his giant shield, and you keep them out on this choke point. This is the line. Unlike before, where line is only like this is the line you want to draw. And you want to make sure you get anybody trying to sneak past you as well. If they sneak past you, then pay attention to the back, and pay attention to this building, because they could walk behind you. Once again, another reason why Torbjorn is so strong here. Yo, let's get moving! Alfred Hitchbot, you're scaring the shit out of me. Anyways. So, what can you do about this oppressive defense from the defender's side? As an attacker, some of your major orders of business is to take out whatever stationary targets you can before you go in. That is big. That is a huge job for your Widow, and you should be able to take out a lot of the moving platforms, whatever's up here. Hence why Widow is very important on this map. It takes care of some of the farther away options that the defending team might have. The next thing you want to do is probably clear out this room. It's a popular room for symmetric turrets. It's a popular microwave room, and it discourages people from coming in for that very reason. Once you get this room, you have a alternative option. Your flankers should now sneak past really fast this back section and hopefully flank anyone that's trying to come back to defend the point. It's also worth noting that flankers could also come back here and check for Symmetra teleporters, which these are all popular locations for them. Back here, over there, over there. My personal favorite is over here because no one really sees this and it's relatively fast. So, Symmetra teleporter location. There's another Symmetra teleporter location. I think Symmetra is pretty good here because the walk is pretty extensive. Another teleporter location is possibly back here. No one sees it. And if you're a little risky and you just need it out, put it back here, but there's chances are there's a flanker that would come back here and take it immediately. So I highly recommend backing that little drop zone over there in the back, and I also highly recommend behind that building that we just walked to before. So from an attacker, how do you get past the oppressive defense here? Flankers, snipers, and the usual Reinhardt. If they're a sniper, you want to use the Winston to take care of them. If you're a Reinhardt, you just want to progressively move up, take care of any stationary turrets over here. After you get past this choke point, if you could walk through here, you want to start making your way through these stairs, especially if your team is okay with this. You don't want to just blindly rush the point, because that's a bad idea. Also, you can start sniping the turret here. If your Reinhardt does get to this point, and you want to move up here, take out anyone here. From this point, you could jump down, or if you're a close range character, you can start moving down these stairs and start taking people down here. This path would alleviate anything from up there that's trying to shoot you, and it gives you a clear view of where the defenders would most likely come back. So you want to definitely take this back entrance here and take control of this point. Flankers do a great job here, but if you do have your entire team, it's even better. Help pack locations, really fast. Back there, small one, big one over here for inside this building. Another big one over here. Small one beyond this wall. And there's another giant one in the back over here. Now from a flanking's perspective, you could take the stairs and jump up and face them really brave-like, or you could walk back here and hopefully get some shots on whatever is on that tower. Whatever's on the tower, if they don't see you, which normally they do, yeah, it's generally unsafe to do this alone, and you probably want your entire team going in at the same time as you. But if you have managed to get past a very strong defensive line here, and finally take this point and wipe their team, you're in good shape to finally move to the streets phase. And the streets phase is once again really strong for Genji Widow because there's a lot of elevation. But at that point, your first major choke point would be this door. So how do you get past this major choke point? You take alternate paths around, you clear out that alleyway over here. That's the first step. You gotta clear out that alleyway from this first choke point. Alright, you wanna take the right path too, to prevent more people from coming. There's a giant health pack here, small health pack over there. There's a few more health packs in the location as well. So once you get past that door, you start taking people out from behind as a flanker. You can sneak up behind them over here. And this is a good way to get a drop on them, or you can walk behind their entire team over here. And I'm not even covering elevation. This is also a decent symmetric teleporter location that no one ever checks. There's a small health pack in here. South, but this is kind of generally dangerous to go to if you're an attacker. There is another health pack in here. Once again, kind of dangerous if you're an attacker, but if you're a flanker, that's okay. And there's a giant health pack over here. So a quick review. Small from the starting area. Giant one behind this door. Another giant one over here. Small and small. Alright. So that takes care of the health pack location in this middle streets phase section. Streets is generally covered by Genji and Widow to make the most out of the push. Obviously, you want your general pushing units to go escort the payload, your Reinhardt, your Mercy, whatever covering units, most likely a McCree or a Soldier. What else you want with that is your Genji to take out opposing Widows. Your own Widow to take out opposing Widows and to clear the streets phase for you. So where does the Widows and Genjis want to go? And that's top elevation side. And by the way, if they do have that and they don't have a Widow, Pharah absolutely destroys this section because of the elevation advantage that she can have. From a defensive sniper position, you just defend up here. Personally, I move way back for a defensive sniper. Here is a good spot, gives you a good view of the first choke point. And then move up a little bit. You can crouch, get a little more cover this area. And it is really, really difficult to get here unless they could fly or climb walls, because they would have to wait for this elevator to come up. Which is why Genji and Widow is so strong here. So from a defender, you want to defend this first path over here. And then afterwards, you want to defend this second choke point over here. So like most other attack locations, there's probably one or two houses that you want to take control of. After you clear that section and take control of that back alley, your attackers can start moving up here. No, you don't want to grapple this building. You want to grapple this one because that's just a wall. That's misleading. you want to start taking control of anything over here and clear it out. Leave some places for your McCrees and Reapers to jump down and take out opposition. So your first order of business is to just clear to this corner area over here. Once you have gotten this section cleared and your payload is moving up, what you're going to want to do is start advancing towards this section over here. And take control of this giant health pack. It gets behind where the payload will ultimately want to go. And your flankers slash main escort team might want to take some time to clear out this area. This entire time, Genjis and Widows are flying on top of the building, taking each other out with the Ferris. And another possible flanking location, once again as mentioned before, is walking back past this back section, take control of this middle section over here for the payload. Alright, once you get to this corner, this is the next major choke point. From a defender's perspective, this is a pretty good sniping location. Covers both defensive location. It does leave you open to anyone coming through here, which is why you want to little mine here. And it does take considerable effort to get up here. I don't believe you could get up on top of this building if you don't have a flying ability or climbing ability. So definitely worth taking control at this point and snipe and taking care of the enemy opposition. Do keep in mind that they could be up here as well. So watch out for people back here and hang out on top of the county jail, the hell pack. And hopefully you could hold them off on this choke point. Popular bastion location is here. Orb location is here. Scoreboard bastion really, as they cover the house, the back alleyway, and this main road. If they finally get here, you're probably lost the payload and they're probably gonna push it to the end. So from an attacker, you want to take control of this health pad, you want to take control of that building on the right, and ultimately get your payload through here. Flankers, Reapers, McCree, you want to hang out in here and just take control of this building, jump on anybody that gets in your way. This building is relatively important to take control of, especially around this early corner, as it will let you push through. So, assuming you make it past that section, assuming you have pushed through the street space, this is a little bit harder street space to consistently defend and consistently attack, but the general strategy is you want to hold them off at each corner as long as possible. Match is decent here. Torbjorn has mixed results. Soldier, Widowmaker, Genji, Pharah, they all counter each other, so depending on what the team has or doesn't have, you want to pick one of those. Alright, so we finally cleared this section and we're finally getting to the final section of Hollywood. I was hoping this would be a faster video, but I guess not. Health pack reminders, small, big, and big. Alright, so we finally moved to this last section. And the first part of this last section shouldn't be that big of a deal. There's 3, 4, 5 entrances. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. My apologies. 4 entrances to this final section as an attacker. Well, defender, I'll take a walk through that towards the end of the video. So you want to clear this area from a defender, from an attacker's perspective. Snipers could obviously come in here with your McCree and your Reapers. Snipers also like to hang out up there, so your first order of business is to make sure there's no one chucking projectiles at your team at top location. Your major point in this location is to just get past this initial corner and get to over there. And once you're in that section, once your payload gets there, the attacker, I feel, has a pretty strong advantage. So other locations for Widowmaker would up here on this ball, lesser known location. Start taking pot shots at people in the main entrance. You don't want to stay here too long because it is a little bit of a walk back, but you probably get 1 or 2 kills here and hold them off for a little bit. Alternatively, you can also cover these 2 entrances, 3 entrances, going back up here. But the rock is unexpected. No one ever expects the rock. This is very much expected, where if you hide in this corner, you could have a decent vantage point. Junkrat's good up here, Soldier's good up here, Widow's good up here. Obviously Genji to take control from an attacker's perspective to take these guys out. Alright, so you wanna, from an attacker, just get your payload over here. So you're taking control of that giant health pack and that giant health pack. Watch out for this left corner for flankers, but your flankers should have the advantage here because your spawn point is literally just over there. This first section you should be able to easily push up due to how close your spawn point is. Alright, so it's not looking too good for attackers on this part actually. Relatively decently push up. The giant health pack there, giant health pack there. There's another small health pack over there that I'm gonna show you guys by walking to it. Over there. So what are some of my options as attacker? There's you finally got to this main hallway. Very strong sniper location is over here where you can overlook the entire last section, and if anyone jumps on the payload you can take them out. Very big reason why Widow is strong here is that Widow could take out anybody on the spot. If you're a little cheeky, you get on top of these rocks. But generally this is good enough for me. Alright, so that takes care of the Widow final attacking position. This is very strong as they can't risk jumping on a payload without you taking them out. So other things, if you are particularly brave, your flankers could take stairs over here. Walk up here, this room is normally nothing. And this is where you would go to this overlook section. Getting. If for whatever reason you're taking that route. If there was someone chucking projectiles at you and for whatever reason you can't shoot them, that's where the flanker would have to walk to get back here. But the main reason why you want to take those staircases is because you would get access to this location, which overlooks the final choke point for the defenders. And even though the defenders is right there, like their walk to this final spot is considerably long, which is why I think attackers have the advantage on this final stretch. It does take them a little bit of time to actually get here. Obviously, Reaper jumping point, if they didn't see you come up here, you could jump down on all of them and do your Death Blossom. You could Genji ult, you could rain death from above, but this is generally a good area you want to take control over. Having a Widow there definitely helps, having a soldier definitely helps, and having a Reinhardt stand on the payload from either side will definitely help defend this last section. So Reinhardt is very important here. Alright, so from a flank area, you could come down here and start taking them out. The Widow could also come up here, but it's really risky as there is no great escape option for her. Worth noting is there's a little health pack over here for the defenders. Now, it's not an impossible to defend last point, but it's definitely very difficult. Alright, so generally, yeah, you just want to like have 3 guys on the payload and you just move up and that's it. Like, just Widow your way through and brute force it. So what can you do as a defender? So we're gonna explore this from the defender side. From the defender side, obviously you want someone up here. Come out of here. You wanted someone to take care of this top section over here, just to make sure you don't get surprised flanked by anybody. Maybe have one person stationed up here and take shots at them. Just cover this top area. Bastion is pretty good up here as he could hide and run away. Torbjorn, decent, not recommended as it's easy to pick off and you don't get your coverage without the sniper taking care of your turret. So probably not a Torbjorn, but you want a Pharaoh up here or something and just push the people off the payload. Unless, of course, there's a Widowmaker, then you want the Genji. Or Tracer. Annoy her. Alright, so this is generally not where you want to be. You want to be stationed to the choke point as much as possible. Your own Widowmaker should discourage the enemy Widowmaker from taking shots at your team. And this is generally pretty decent for defending the point as well. Just watch out for that entrance, and that's an impossible side entrance for flankers to attack your team. One health pack that we mentioned earlier. And there's one more small health pack over there, but that's generally used by the defender covering the last section. And generally, you want to draw the final line here. You want to push them off this final area as long as possible, and that's where you ultimately make or break. If you can push them up further by the health points, if you can take control of this line over here, you're generally in a good place, and you're probably going to win. But if they have a decent Widow, it's honestly really difficult to defend this point. So make sure if you are a defender, you have something take care of that Widow. Yeah, that basically covers it. Torbjorn, great in the beginning. Widow Genji kind of ruins this map, and Reinhardt from both teams to make sure your team comes out okay. Reinhardt standing here could do wonders about the Widow, taking pot shots at your team. So that's ultimately the counter I would pick. If they have a very strong Widow, Reinhardt kind of ruins her day a little bit. And if, you know, they have their own Reinhardt, then it's just a stalemate situation. So make sure to have your Reinhardt here on Hollywood from both sides, attacking and defending. Anyway, that about wraps it up for this video. Hopefully you learned something about Hollywood today. And leave any comments, concerns, complaints in the comment section. Please like the Twitch channel if you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. This is Lambro, and thanks for watching.